Peace, greetings. I just want to shoot this real quick video. Obviously today, being a holiday, for those that do celebrate the holidays, I won't be doing a video this evening due to spending time with family in the holidays. If you do celebrate the holidays, Merry Christmas to you and all that good stuff. Enjoy, enjoy your day with your family. Do what you got to do. But again, I wanted to just give a quick reminder. I'll send a notification out tomorrow. I'm going to be doing a video tomorrow night. Also, as a quick reminder, and the video tomorrow night will be regular time, 7:30 p.m. Also, as a reminder, if you are a active practicing Luciferian, you know today is probably one of the best days to do your ritualistic work. The symbolicism that's connected to the darkness and the light, this being the shortest day of the year with hours of darkness, especially if you live in the southern hemisphere. It's an excellent time to do the ritual with your chakras and activating your chakras, the Luciferian ritual, which we did here for those that came here and did that ritual with us a couple of months ago. This is an excellent time for you to perform that ritual this evening and activate those chakras with the forces of light and darkness. As you know, true Luciferian working with the elements, working with nature, the micro and the macrocosm, and how that connects to you with being a god. This is an excellent day to do that ritual. So I would suggest, again, if one of the paths you practice is Luciferianism, today is a great time to tap into that energy. I mean, any time is a great time to tap into that energy. But today is especially a really good time to tap into that energy. My suggestion, if you have Richard Cage, I think his name is, Richard Page or Cage, one of the books I went over in the Luciferian video, I just don't have it here with me, Alter Ego Luciferian. He has, to give you a general idea, obviously add your own flavor to it, as I always say. For those that came and did the ritual with us a couple months ago when we did it in a group setting, it gave you a general idea when we did that ritual. But now is the time for you to personally take that ritual and make out of it whatever you need. Just what I would suggest for those practicing Luciferians and those that have been, here with us doing some of the Luciferian work, I would work with the chakras, just my suggestion. But you can, in that particular ritual, if you did do it with us and you know what I'm talking about, and if you have not, go look at Richard Page's book. It's activating and working with each specific chakra. Feel free, whatever comes to your mind to do, whatever you feel you need to do. But a great time to consecrate yourself to the Luciferian energy. It's actually good to do this ritual completely naked because it represents regeneration, renewal, taking on that aspect of transformation and change. It just adds, to the power and the energy of the ritual. It's not mandatory. You do how you see fit. If you want to wear a black robe, cloaks, whatever makes you feel fit. I think just with nothing on, it's a very powerful and absorbing ritual. So I would say that to my practicing Luciferians that do work with that energy, understand what this day represents. To all the spooky space cadets, to the black conscious coons and the conscious coons in general, regardless of your ethnicity. If you're still stuck on that religious rhetoric about Christmas, and that's a slave mentality in itself, who cares? I'm not really interested in that because I still see videos popping up, people talking about the origin of Christmas, and how it ties into religion and all this. So who gives a shit? If you really understand the magic of what it represents and how a magician looks at it, it's totally fucking different. So I say, despite all that, you live your life the way you choose. If you celebrate the holidays, power to you. If you don't, power to you. That's entirely up to you. It's irrelevant. I enjoy the holidays. As I said in some of the last previous videos, I ain't under that, mentality where I need to think a certain way or how people try to program you to think. I think the way I choose to think. I couldn't give a fuck what anybody thinks. That's just the way it is. I will on the next video. We got some stuff planned for the next couple months. I'll go over that on the next video. We got some work that we got planned out. That I'll go over on the video tomorrow. I'm not going to get into too much of that now. We will have something at the end of January. Like I said, I just want to make this clear. If you have not been to one of our events in a while, I know I get some emails. We don't do them in the same spot. We kind of changed up the whole process of how we do it. It's nothing like we used to do when we first started out. That was kind of just to get the feel of things, just to kind of get things rolling. And it was also a weed out process. We were just kind of sorting, sifting through to see what we had, and get rid of the quote unquote knuckleheads, if that's the correct word to use. But what we're doing now is nowhere near on the level of what we were doing back then. So if you haven't joined us in the new location and the work that we're doing, then you really don't understand or don't have a grasp of what we're doing. It's completely shifted and changed. And that's all been brought upon by the work everybody has done individually and collectively. It's brought a new energy. It's brought transformation and change on a whole different level. And people that are actually participating, they're now, those that have come see more involved, and they're adding their flair to the work. They're contributing, they're participating, and it's a whole different level of work. But we'll talk a little bit about that more down the road. So I want to put that out there because of the holidays, to understand what today really represents to an occultist. But if you enjoy the surface stuff, celebrating the holidays, power to you. Look at the occult aspect of Santa Claus. It's like Combs will tell you, look at the religious mythology of it and how it's a trick and deception. And as I said before, don't believe all that bullshit, Santa. I mean, if you twist or adjust the two letters around, it means Satan. No, it's just a Spanish word that means saint, which comes from Saint Nicholas, who was an actual saint that was canonized by the Catholic Church and who had a connection with helping needy children. That's where you get the mythology of Santa Claus and children. Bottom line is this: when you're dealing with the objective and the subjective, you can look at anything you want and perceive it and interpret it how you see fit. That's the problem. You don't need to get caught up in somebody's interpretation of it. You interpret it the way you need and see fit and apply it to yourself, where you get some type of results and some benefits out of it. That's point blank. All right. So tomorrow we're going to be talking about, it's going to be good. Obviously, the Aquaman movie came out. The video is not going to just be about Aquaman. We're going to get in depth. Trust me when I say real in depth on the Leviathan energy, the misunderstandings of it. We're going to go on a whole bunch of different levels. So be prepared. You might want to take notes, and be prepared. We're going to go through the thorough understanding. Yes, we will break down and connect, because the movie is connected to that. It's connected to a whole bunch of. It's connected to several different quote-unquote historical mythologies. If you haven't seen the movie, I'd recommend you go see it. If you have, that's going to be a good thing. You'll probably be able to grasp a lot more of the concepts that we go over and talk about tomorrow night. But we're going to go in depth on this. Leviathan energy is very important. Working this path, we utilize it consciously and unconsciously on a multitude of levels on this path. And it connects to many different paths: the vampiric path, the Luciferian path. There's a strong connection there, a very strong connection to what some would term the Egyptian left-hand path. And of course, working with the, if you want to say, spirits of the dead. But we're going to go in depth in that. We'll also discuss how you can utilize these concepts and create your own rituals and work, because you could take a couple of different paths, and this is what I've done, and you feel free to do. You can incorporate a couple of different spiritual systems and create your own work on this, which is a beneficial thing. Another thing I wanted to throw out there, I mentioned a few weeks back, I think it was about 3-4 weeks ago, about a connection, or we were going to start up something for altar supplies. But what I've worked out with a personal connection that I have here in South Florida, I have an individual that has access to all this stuff. Really good quality shit. Statues, daggers, chalices, any type of left-hand path ritualistic tools, even your basic stuff, incense, oils, but more so the altar and the ritual supplies. So rather than start up a website, with possibly an Amazon store is what we were more thinking. I really don't have time to maintain a website and go through all that. I just don't have the time for it. So I would tell people they can reach out personally in the email, send me an email and specify what you're looking for. If it's statues of Set, if it's daggers with skulls on it, or if you're looking for decorative skulls for your altar, things of that nature, kind of like stuff you've seen in the videos. Send me an email and I can tell you what's available, shoot you images of what's available and prices. And the good thing about this connection that I have here, the prices are phenomenal. And because I know the dude, he's willing to work deals out with me. So the more orders we get, the cheaper we can get the merchandise for. And again, mainly specifying in ritual and altar tools, pentagrams, altar banners, any type of imagery for your altar. Also robes, if you're in need of things, of that nature. Again, the quicker way for me to do it, again, because I really don't have time to maintain a full website, possibly do an Amazon store. We were talking about partnering on an Amazon store, which would probably be more beneficial, where I wouldn't have to do too much work and running it, again, for time and what I got going on. But you can shoot me emails if you're looking for any of that stuff. Hit me up, and what I can do is send you images and show you what we have that is available. Because this is a direct connect of an individual that has a physical location. And because he gets stuff in mass supply, it's just easy for me to do orders via email and ship that stuff to people rather than I'm not going to bother with the website stuff. So hit me up for that. Then again, like I said, what are we talking about? I'll have the date for the next event. Probably the last, almost certain. I know a couple people sent emails about it in the last couple of days. I know I responded to a couple of you people. We're probably aiming for the last weekend in January, the last Friday. That's what it's looking like right now. I'm almost certain it's going to stay that. This particular ritual we did, which was this past week, the third week in December. Obviously, if you know, it was the last new moon of the year. There was a reason why we did that, working with the Holy Death. And as I said before, in that brief video that I posted a couple days ago, it was about each individual. And the unique thing about what we do now at the group gatherings, there is a point at the end where each individual has the time to go in there into the chamber room by themselves and do their own personal work. We do that at the end now of every ritual, which is very personal, and it's unique because it gives the individual now time to go in there by themselves and do whatever it is that they want to do. The importance of that is when you have your own personal intent and something you're personally trying to accomplish. It was very important for this ritual because we were dealing with going into a new year. Each individual was focused on accomplishing their goals and what they're setting out to accomplish in life. So as I said before, what's important to understand about group work and individual work, they do serve a purpose, but it's two different experiences. Your true growth obviously is in your personal work and what you create personally. So that's one of the things in the last several months now we've changed with a lot of the work, where the individual has the time to go in there for however long they see fit or however short they see fit. And if you understand how magic works, it's not about being all long, overdrawn, and dramatic. You can go in there and do something for 5 minutes and it can be super effective. So the individual now has that personal time to do their own personal work, which was important for this ritual because, again, we're focusing on going into a new year. We were dealing with the elements, the moon, the death current. All that is important when you're on this path and what it represents. So we were really finishing out this year, and as I said, we ended it with the Holy Mother Goddess of Death, or the Black Mother Goddess of Death, because as I said, if you go back to my earlier videos in the year, and a lot of people can concur to this, 2018 was a year of death to many people on personal level, physical level, mental and emotional level. I wasn't just talking about physical death, even though there was a lot of that, including myself, experienced that. losing 2 family members in 2018. But I wasn't just talking about physical death. I was talking about spiritual deaths, burning out previous existences or ways of life and how you were living that are not conducive to you or not productive to you. So this was very important. We focused on all of this. This is why you hear me say in the last couple of weeks the importance of understanding working with the death current or the death energy or the spirits of the dead. And not just getting caught up in the imagery of it and the physicality of it. Though, as I said before, imagery and the physical elements, putting on the robes, your altar, that's all part of it, no doubt. You hear me say that all the time. But I also want people to understand there's a strong mental aspect. Real magic, as we know, is mental. You hear me say that all the time. Part of that is reprogramming the subconscious mind, right? Okay. That's something I've been saying on videos going back several years now. So it's important to understand all of this leads to the main aspect of tapping into the power of your mind, mental magic, which is important. You taking that concept and being able to grasp it. And as I said before, you can work magic driving in your car. You can do it. Believe me, I do it all the time. Visualization, the power of visualization, just driving in your car. The ride to work from your house to your job, to your place of business, or wherever it is you do in the morning is some of the most powerful time because the mind is up and activated when you're starting the day. It can be something that can be positive or negative. If you're consumed by that chaos or the power of those thoughts where you can't make sense of it or put it into your own personal perspective to make it work for you, it can be consuming. But if you know how to use the power of visualization and thought with a simple car ride to work or to your place of business in the morning, that can be a very magical, transforming aspect. So this is the purpose. This is the goal. These are the things we're working towards collectively and individually. Because collectively is just to give you the general idea. But you're supposed to take that, even when we do these sessions here, when you're watching videos and classes and sessions, whoever it is, it could be me, it could be any other elder, scholar, teacher, whatever, you're supposed to just use that again as a general guideline. But you should always take it. You hear me say this all the time. You should always take that and make something out of it that's personal for yourself. Because, like I say, unfortunately, we see over the years the hustles and the games where, people will say stupid ass shit. And it's not to single out, you could say Dr. Yorks and all your other fucking con artists. There's usually some type of agenda at the bottom. They'll tell you, they come in the form like they're offering you all this shit for nothing. But bottom line is, then they'll come out and say, well, yeah, there is a cost for this. There is a charge to do this. I've said from jump, and I made this clear. The things that I do, you'll never see me anywhere on video. Personal work I do when it comes to consultations and classes, and I made this clear. I charge for that. That's my time. I'm not doing that shit for free. Point blank. You ain't never heard me say on a video, I don't charge to do any work. I do it for free and then flip the script and change my mind and then say I'm going to start charging. Anybody that's doing that's got an agenda. You got to watch out for that. So I want to make that crystal clear. I've said from day one, if you do a personal consultation with me, there's a charge for that. If you are taking my personal online classes, which are 6-week sessions in 3 to 4.5 hour blocks, those that have taken them know that. I'm charging for that. It's my time. If that's not something you're interested in, then that's fine. You're just not interested in it. But I don't do that stuff for free. The videos here are a platform to openly discuss things. But you can never find me on video anywhere saying that, or talking against somebody. I don't agree with, there's people out there offering services that are ridiculous price. But you won't ever hear me bash them. That's their thing. That's their lane. That's what they're doing. If you're stupid enough to fall for that, then that's entirely up to you. Those that are utilizing my services, it's completely explained to them. But you won't catch me on video saying in the past that I won't ever charge to do anything and speak out against it, where some have done that in the past, and then later down the road flip the script and then tell you they're going to charge you. You got to question that. Personally, to me, that's somebody that got an agenda and wasn't being, straight from the gate from day one. So I want to, address that going into the new year because people have sent emails about classes, and I explain this. And I also explain what you're going to get out of the class. not promising you false fairy tales and illusions, and telling you that you're going to get some deep mystical secret that you can't get anywhere else. No, you're just going to get the tools and the information you need that's going to push you in the right direction, where you can utilize that information to pull out the divine within you. But at the end of the day, you're still going to have to do it yourself. And don't let nobody bullshit you, because another thing in these classes, people will pretend that they're giving you shit that's not coming from other sources. And I get this a lot from people. I get emails from people that have taken other people's classes. They're using books. They're using sources. I'm not gonna say any individuals' names, but those that have emailed me and have taken the classes, you know who I'm talking about. People that have been offering these classes for years. They're on the Occult. They've been around for a while, and they've been offering these different classes like as if they're giving you something brand new. Bottom line is this: if they're telling you, they're giving you something brand new, but yet they're using sources of other books, which is fine in my opinion, just as long as you're only using it, for a general guideline or a blueprint. But how can they sit there and tell you they're offering you something new where it came from somewhere? Even if they're putting a curriculum together, and I make it clear when I put my curriculum together where it's coming from and how we're going to put it into perspective. But if they're telling you, don't utilize nobody else's shit, it needs to just be you exclusively, and then they're giving you some type of curriculum, well, you're still tapping into their shit. So that's a contradiction in itself to say that, it's not. It's authentic. It's only authentic when you make it authentic. So if you're reading a book, like I mentioned Richard Page's Luciferian Ritual, here, it's as simple as this. You've always heard me say from day one, it's okay to use books as that guideline, as that blueprint. It's okay to use those, but never do the ritual identically. As long as you add some personal flair to it, it now becomes your own because you've stamped it with your own energy. You can change the thing entirely around. You can change the whole concept of it entirely around. It's just to give you an idea. So I use the Luciferian ritual that I mentioned in the beginning of this video. Take that, because the principle, if you understand Luciferian doctrine, this is a great day of regeneration, renewal, and change personally. So but deal with the chakras. Why you want to deal with the chakras is an activation of it, because the principles of darkness and light, how it works in correspondence with those chakras. So use that just as a blueprint. If you want to redo the whole thing from beginning to end, power to you. But fools got to stop talking nonsensical bullshit like they're coming with some new heavy deep shit. They're not. Because I've seen, again in the past, many of these teachers and internet gurus and YouTube scholars, that are offering these classes and programs they got as if they're giving you some. It's still, in essence, it's still connected to them. Just like if I'm offering a curriculum, of course my personal influence is on it, but it's not for you to do it the exact way that I do it. Negroes got to stop pretending like they come in with some new shit, like they got some deep shit that you ain't never seen before. The only people that fall for that gullible, stupid shit is people that are simple-minded. People that are looking for somebody to follow. And as I said before, I'm not looking for anything or anybody to follow, because we don't want followers. And same thing when we do the rituals down here. And this is why we have invites. We want to talk to them. If you're looking for some Mickey Mouse club to belong to, some group or organization to belong to, where you can feel like you're part of some club, that's not what we do. I just want to make that clear. It's a new year in a few days. And again, I want to share this information, the Luciferian ritual, what we got going on, what we're going to talk about tomorrow. So I wanted to shoot a quick video. Just to kind of, it's a new day and time. And every year we should be transforming and changing and renewing and evolving into something bigger and better personally, right? And I hope everybody has goals in mind, right? You should be having goals, and you should say to yourself, reflect now before you go into the new year. Look at what you accomplished this year compared to last year, and can you honestly say to yourself, I have made some consistent growth and change. This is how you know you're working this path right. Fuck all that other bullshit. When you remove all the physical stuff, all right? The physical stuff are just, I've said that before, are enhancements. When you're doing rituals personally or group-wise, the imagery, again, go back to the Book of Belial. I always refer to that. The Book of Belial, the imagery helps activate the psyche, which is a beautiful thing. But when you remove all this imagery, and I love imagery, I love working with the more ancient forms of ritualistic magic, whether it's individually or personally. I love that stuff. It connects to me. It gives me a good vibe, a good frequency. But at the end of the day, you have to remove all that stuff. When you really look at it from a mental perspective, can you honestly say, I want everybody to do this over the next couple of days. Analyze the year you had this year in 2018, right? Analyze it in depth and be real. You are your own best critic. Be real. Can you honestly compare this year to last year and see growth and change? If not, look at the things you didn't accomplish and make sure you set those goals moving into the next year. All right? Bottom line, if you understand how that works, it'll be crystal clear. Because the thing is, when working together, whether we're dialoguing, fellowshipping, having classes, that stuff is needed to a certain point. Even working rituals, because if we don't have other people critique us, we're not going to be our best critic in some areas when it comes to being really critical about ourselves. You understand? And we need to be. We need to start being honest with ourselves in areas that we're failing. Okay, I want to make that clear. That's a tough thing for a lot of people to do on this path. And you hear me say that for many years. The hardest thing when we say addressing your bullshit, your shortcomings, we're literally talking about areas in your life where you're lacking and you're not doing well, you're not successful. So you should be focusing on those things going into the new year. Not focusing on the things you've mastered and you're good at. Right? Those areas in your life and your work don't really need that attention right now. So again, a good thing, end of the year work as we call it in some occult circles, as you're going in from this year to next year, have realistic. Don't be superficial like these people that fool themselves. I'm going to join a gym, right? Well, we see this time of the year. Everybody that's going to go to the gym after Christmas going into New Year, right? What's going to happen? The gym is going to be packed with people because everybody fucking sets fake goals. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to exercise. I'm going to get in shape. So what? The first 2, 3, 4 weeks of the year, the gym is packed. Then as January goes into February, it starts to dwindle because people ain't really focused on them goals. So I use that. If your goal is to get in better shape, get you a gym membership. Get out there, exercise regularly. But stick to it. Do whatever work you need to do to get this right and stay focused on them goals. Don't be that superficial person that sets superficial goals, meaning you're saying it physically on the surface, but it's not really resonating in here and in here. You won't accomplish the goal. That's just a reality. So look, do a deep introspective of yourself in all areas of your life, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically. Analyze your relationships with your spouse, significant others, family members. Do they need work and repair in those areas? Analyze your finances, right? Are you attaining, or are you at least on the path to obtaining your financial goals? Analyze your desires. Are you living out and fulfilling some of your desires because your desires fuel your intent? I think you get the point. Excuse me. Sorry. I think you get the point. So I just wanted to send this message for 2018, ending 2018, going into 2019. Brief message. Just some things for people to ponder and think about. So I would ask you guys to start reflecting on this. Those that are taking, last thing, I'm about to wrap it up. For those that are taking the Saturday sessions, we resume again first week in January. We have 2 more sessions in those blocks, which will be the first and second Saturday in January. And then we will take a break until more likely mid to late March. For those that have emailed me about the next session, I will have the information. As I said again, I'm in the process of putting it together, but I want to finish. I'm focused on finishing the last 2 sessions. Because like I said before, it's not 5 minutes sit down. I like to put time and energy into it. When you're doing 6 weeks of classes and they're 4 to 5 hours a piece, that takes some time and preparation. I want to make sure I'm putting a product together. Again, as I said before, and those that have taken the last couple of sessions, I appreciate your support and your emails and what you've emailed me on your feedback and what you've gotten out of it and how it's helped motivate you to do your own personal shit. That's the objective. That's the goal. So I don't like to flim-flam or rush anything. I like to sit down and put some real, good energy into it. And I've already got half of it done. I will focus on the rest once things settle down in the next couple of weeks and get back to normal. Once the current session is finished after the second week in January, Probably a week or two after that, look for that information at the end of January. Last week in January, first week in February, I will start emailing people that are currently in the session and new people that inquired taking these sessions. So that information will be shortly. Just be patient. Let's just finish the current one, and let's go ahead and enjoy the rest of this week. For those that do celebrate the holidays, because I know I do. Had a great time last night. We're going to have a great time today. Family and friends are here. We got some good stuff planned next week. It's just a great time of the year. Fun with the kids and children. Have fun watching some of the family members' children in the family last night. Having their little fun. Running around and opening presents and all that good shit. Fun time of the year. Fuck that. But some of us grew up in this country. It's part of our upbringing. I don't care all that religious and historical rhetoric. Again, if you're a true magician out, you can look at Christmas any way you want, and not just Christmas, anything any way you want, and adapt it to fit your own personal specification and needs. That's the type of shit that I'm on. I'm not on that. Ain't nobody going to dictate to me how I should or should not look at something. I don't give a fuck, because all that shit people be spitting is programmed shit that they get from these conspiracy theory bullshit. And they spend more time and energy on that shit, but they don't spend more time and energy on productive things that's going to make them grow, that's going to make them change. So fuck all that dumb shit. We ain't got time for that. All right, and last thing, just a reminder, again, tomorrow night, I just wanted to remind people we'll be doing a video probably this week and next week on Wednesday due to the holidays. I might do something on Stay with Tuesday on New Year's Day. I'm not sure, but I'll address that on the video tomorrow. So I just want to remind people, I did mention it in last Tuesday's video, because I know regularly I keep Tuesday night as a regular night to shoot videos. So I won't be doing one tonight. This is just a reminder. I will be online tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. We're going to connect it's going to be some good shit. I'm excited about it because in the last couple of days, and I want to thank, I can't remember the viewer. I want to thank you, because you were the beginning spark of tomorrow's class. And I think it was perfect, 33. You'll know who you are. Shoot me an email, and I hope you're on the video tomorrow. You had mentioned to me, I think it was in the last video, about doing a video on the Leviathan energy. You're going to know who you are when I say this. I can't recall your name. I might have to go back and look in the chat. You mentioned it in the chat. You were actually the point of origin of the spark for this video tomorrow. When you said that, a couple days later, I went and saw Aquaman, which was the other day, and it just connected a bunch of shit. There's going to be a surprise in this class. There's an element in this class which they briefly flash it in the movie. I'm gonna bring that whole thing out tomorrow and show you why they did. But there's a whole element. So you must have, the timing was right for you to mention the Leviathan thing. And that's the beauty of it. When you're connected and you're locked into the spirit and you're getting communication, you're getting the personal messages that we all should be getting. It's beautiful when it works in sequence. The Holy Death ritual a few nights ago, Aquaman, Leviathan, it all lines. It's a beauty when you're receiving and confirming the communications for self. And that's the objective of all of us, to get